Okay, I'm back. All right. Let's see. So yesterday, I think you could start to feel. Could you feel the place when when I tell you about kind of indenting the saddle back on the place where it's kind of high and curves, right? Like it just high and then it curves and it pushes you down to the middle of the saddle, but the middle of the saddle is kind of a little forward. Does that make sense? So if that's the case, then it keeps wanting to like push you down that little curve into the little hole, which is where it is, And then if it's forward in your crotch, yeah. If it's forward and in that front place, then it's more close to the knee rolls, which makes you have to like your knee and thigh have to come down even straighter if that was gonna, work out. Now the idea though is to feel that you kind of start to sit, and I feel it in your saddle a little bit on the back till you feel like you're almost making two little poke holes on that on the slope of the back of the saddle. And then feel that you can take your thighs away and a little bit open them a little bit, rotate open and back only a little bit, and see if you roll off or slide off that little curve up, up halfway on the curve. Try to see if you can perch up back on the back there. And yesterday when we were trotting and there were some moments, I think it's almost like it's I don't know how to describe it, but you really feel like you strip everything away, and there's like this really like moment of like, oh, I feel like really on like I don't have a place to be, and it really makes me feel wobbly. Um, and then like you keep trying, and then you'll find what you need to support. What supports you in your belly? What supports you in your back? And I'm talking about the midsection, all in the black part of where your britches are there, all that square. So if your square of your britches just like right up top where it touches your shirt, and yeah, like your hands in the middle of the square. Everything in there has to really help to keep you to from sliding down that little slope into the deepest part of the saddle, which is really more on the pommel.
It's my postmenopausal baby belly.
That that they for all of us, it's like that really kind of the upper part of our bellies. I think the abdominals. I think everyone tends to have stronger on the top. The bottom ones are hard, so that's why when if somebody's working out and trying to get really build like the look of their abdominals, um, it's really hard to get the lines going down low, right? It's easy to get those first two up top. So because we kind of focus, I think when you think of abdominals, we end up just going straight to them. So at this time, you have to think about that lower part. It's like when I used to say, take the legs away and don't think about using the leg muscles to take your legs away. Think of using your obliques to take the legs away. You really can put an intention on like what muscle groups you want to. If you don't think about it, your body just kind of goes to kind of a default. Bam, because your brain. I say to do something, your brain says do it, and then you just kind of do it. But if you really take a minute and think, I don't want to use these muscles. I want to use this. I want to feel this. I want to feel that. Really isolate it and really break it down. You'll find that if you think about using your abdominals for the legs away, it's a different feeling.
It is. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, and this is going to be the baby, the birth of trying to um, call that area into work. So if you weren't doing it 5 minutes ago, you're not going to be doing it in the trot, and you're not going to do it in the canter, right?
Okay.
So you've got to take time, and that's why I think too. Sometimes when we do the lessons a little bit back to back, it doesn't matter what you're trying to learn or what you're trying to do. If we just kind of repeat it, it doesn't have to, I've said this before, it doesn't have to be anything miraculous. It has to be just like, let's keep talking about your abdominals in the front, in the lower part for the next 3 or 4 days, and you'll start doing better. And finding that because you are finding the place for your seat bones to sit in the place of the saddle, that there's no place for them, you're going to make it. You're going to glide. You're going to make sure that your thighs are, they can be near the knee rolls because, but I want you to feel like, am I leaning on them with my thighs? Are my thighs pushing? Am I touching them because I'm moving? Or am I touching them because my thighs are put up in there? Boom. Are they stuck? Or are they like, yeah, I can touch my knee roll. I can soften my knee roll. There's a difference. Then you work up to your back, up to your shoulders. And then we can't forget about your arms following. I only am going to tell, there's a long story to this, but I have to tell you really quick while you keep warming up, is that I found another little Andalusian mare that I'm considering for Marlene, and they sent the girl sent the video. She said it's second or third level. Lol. Yeah, well. Yeah. So, one day when we have time, I'll show you because I don't know why it made an impression, not a good one on my head, but the 2 videos that she sent are from clinics. Okay. And the horse, she thinks the horse has TMJ and all these, opens its mouth and all these things. So anyway, I was watching the clinic video and there's this girl and she's, I don't know, I promise you 25 minutes, she made the girl walk like this, like you're doing, and bend its head like really into the inside, like for 25 minutes. I know. And the girl got on the horse and she said, oh my, we've got a lot of work to do here. This horse is super stiff. And I was because I'm looking at it because I'm like, does it have a good walk? Like, I just want to know if it can overtrack, And it was painful because she was sitting there like a slack of potatoes. Even the trainer, who was just, that's a whole nother story. But how we can do these to the horses that like, and I don't know that my way is the best way either, but I do know that we can, it makes sense to me that if we don't move, if I go and ask you to walk with me, let's go walking over to a place, and you say, yeah, let's go, then I have to walk and you have to walk, right? So if I say, let's go walking over to the place, and you say, yeah, let's go, and then I just don't walk, I mean, wouldn't you turn around and say, hey, are we going, right? Yeah. Like, you invited me to go over, right? And then now you are just standing there. What's going on? Like, it would be a weird scenario, right? And that's what these people are doing. And they're also like doing weird things, like cranking their neck to one side for long periods of time. So I think, I just want to touch on it because it's painful, and I think more and more I was analyzing myself. What am I teaching? How am I doing? Who is really the right person here? But you have to move, and you have to be able to move. And I think that the most beautiful horse is moving. And I would say probably still my favorite is the French lady that rides bridleless. She moves elegant. Yeah. She moves. And maybe she takes flexion with her horse and sometimes and does these things sometimes, but the end result, I mean, the human usually, I was watching painfully, I kept fast forwarding through these 2 clinicians riding this really actually beautiful Andalusian mare that is just all sorts of wrong. But I thought, if they would just move a little bit, she would understand to move.
Yeah.
He's the rider. And in her situation, it was the riders that were the trainers. Like, they were the worst, and she was paying them. So keep moving even more, bigger walk. feel that do you feel the place in the saddle?
I feel it right now.
Good.
I don't know if it's right,
Good.
but it feels right.
You
So,
feel like there's a place that you're not like tink, like tick falling off, and that there's like a little cliff in the front, and you like tick, you like fall down in there. No, you stay back. And when I felt it even in your saddle, I felt like sometimes I had to really stay back so much that I felt like I could put my hand under the front part of my crutch. It wasn't touching anything.
mhm.
It's like an extreme version of staying there. Good. And more walk even. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Good. How do you keep your hands still and closed and your wrists soft, but don't give away the contact?
Okay.
This is good. This is
I'm
better.
trying. I'm
This is
trying
better.
to
This
do
is better. Did you see your video from yesterday?
Yeah, I did not have to get to watch it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Now a few steps bigger again, more. And then less. Good boy. And then more. Go quick. Right. And then less. Come back to walk. Good boy.
Every time I trot, I lose my spot. Like I feel physically.
Right.
I lose my spot in the saddle.
Yep. And it's hard because it was probably hard for you to find the spot in the walk.
It is. And then when I find it and I lose it so quickly, it's like I have to go back to the walk to
Yeah.
get it back. And
Yeah.
it's like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that some of it will be your muscle, and then I think at some point you'll say, okay, I want to, like it will be interesting too again to go ahead and put like the basic plain saddle, the one from MacD, and see if yes, it's not as soft as yours. Yours is so yummy and soft, but I want you to understand the rotation of your hips. Like if you were a skeleton up there, I want you to understand. Like if you were yourself and you were a skeleton and then you were looking at yourself off the horse, I want you to like look at your pelvis and the way it sits and the way your thigh comes down and the way that your spine is aligned. You have to understand it first before you can, because first we can understand it and say, oh yeah, look at that girl riding. She needs to do this, and this, right? But and we can look at that even in our videos of ourselves. It doesn't mean that we can easily do it. we first we can see it quicker and faster than we can do it. That's common. We know that. But first we have to see it. Because if we don't see it, we don't like believe that we have to do it. Good. All right, so let's go for a little trot rising. And hopefully your trot rising will feel a little bit like bouncier, a little bit, easier because of the work that we do in all of the sitting, right? And think about yesterday with the hands holding the whip and how it felt. Like, not that it has to be so down on the neck, but right away, like analyze your elbows. Like, how are they moving? Are they moving? What about my muscles in my biceps and my triceps and my forearms? Like, how are they? You should have like right in front of the crease of your elbow, like if I just put a really heavy weight there and pushes your elbows down, it's always kind of like forcing a bit of a bend because it's so heavy. When you come around again by me, walk again. And only I wish with this system they could have some kind of like reverse screen so that I could show you things. That would be like, we would be then in like, we'd be in perfect, it would be a perfect system. Okay, stop right there. Okay, so put your right hand right in the crease of your elbow of your left hand. but like a flat five finger, like you're making a five. Don't grab it. Don't grab it like you're grabbing it. Put your the pinky part down into your elbow. Like make a five in your hand with your right hand up in the air. Just make a five with your right hand. Good. Like close your fingers, yeah. And then just like you're gonna cut your arm off at your crease of your elbow with your pinky part of your hand. Like bam, like you're have a knife. You're gonna cut it off like that, and you're gonna cut it off right at the seam.
Okay.
Now push it. Yeah, push it in and down. Yes. You feel that? Yeah. Feel like it's not because you use your bicep or tricep to pull your arm back. Don't do that. Hold your arm without a bend in your elbow, and then take your hand and push down at the crease, like it's push down. Yes. And take it out again and push down. Like there's something heavy holding it. So when you open and close your elbow to go rising and sitting or sitting trot, you have to always feel like there's something there pushing down on your elbow, like it's heavy and down and back. Your elbow can open and close still, but there's like a pressure from the top keeping it taut. Yes. Do you understand?
I do, but I don't know that I'm feeling the heaviness that I should be feeling, because like as soon as I did it, I'm like, oh, I'm collapsing.
Right. Right. And I mean, just right now, I just want you to feel that it's more like that. Don't think about bending your elbow, because now don't do it with your hand. Now think about actually your bicep and tricep and pulling your elbow back. Pull it back hard. That gives you a stiffness, right? Now try it again without thinking of bending your elbow with your biceps and triceps. Think about just like something pushes you from the front, and the arm stays really soft. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and try that in the walk, and then go ahead to the trot again. And feel like there's something, like you have two hands that are putting, down into both front parts of your elbows in the crease there.
Okay.
Always putting pressure on it. So even though you open and close and move around your elbows, there's like a little pressure from the front that keeps the heavy elbows back. And it's not your arms, it's not your biceps and triceps. Something is in front pushing the front of your elbows back. Good. And try trot again. Yes. 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 This is better. Very good. It keeps pressing back. Yes. All of a sudden your arms looked way longer. Do you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. So the hands don't bounce around because the pressure is in your elbows are heavy back, and they hold back. They don't pull on the horse's mouth. It's like you just take up a little. Yes, you just take up the little slack. Yes, take up the slack in your elbows. Good. Good. Find more trot and a little shorter range, so we don't get longer. We start to get a little bit more squeezing the bum. Quick, 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 quick. Good. Heavy in your elbows. Let those elbows, they open and close, but they also feel like you're pushing back at the with your other hand back at the crease. Push them back, and push them back and open and close. Push them back and open and close. Push them back. Good. Now let's start a little change of direction and start to really bend him first. Make a small circle to the right. So okay, good, and then we go straight, good, and go left. Don't collapse in your left side. And right away, if he feels like he backs off or he's, whatever, he's looking at the door, you do quickly on the legs and don't let yourself fall forward. You send him out in front of that place in the saddle where you feel like you need to sit and make the ledge. He can't get behind you in that ledge. And that's what, right there, kind of coming up to the corner there. Maybe he was looking at the door or whatever. And you almost went back to your old place of like, you got a little, like he backed off, but you were still in the motion. And then all of a sudden you got a little in front of him. And you have to really quickly be like aware of that so that you can say, don't do that to me. Stay out in front of, like, look at the door. Be scared. I don't care, but don't go make me go out of my little spot. Does that make sense? Because he's learned when it gets gets a little bit tough, or he actually, if it's getting a little tough, he likes to use spooking at things because that's a good excuse. It works very well. And then he can say, "Oh, I'm scared of the door." And then he came behind you and it was like, "Oh, it's because of the door." No, it you have to but you can hear me growling at him when I'm riding him. I growl at him quite a bit in the beginning because those are all the times that went he went behind me in that little spot of the seat. And he cannot. He has to stay up in front of me, at least, minimally. And then once he learns to stay there, he's going to stop doing it. Good. Let's try a little bit trot, and then we're going to canter, and then we're going to go ahead and go right to the sitting trot.
Okay, so posting trot, canter.
Posting trot, canter, however you feel comfortable. It's more to just get him finally the final warm up before we go sitting. Yep. Don't let him go behind you in that little spot. Keep him, all his energy up in front of you. More up in front of you, but keep this connection in this round. More tickle, more tickle, not longer. More up in front of you. Don't fall off to the inside. Don't twist your body to the inside. Keep your outside elbow really heavy, like the crease is really back. Yes. Good job. Ah, see? Yeah, because he's like, oh, that's going to be hard. If I have to take the outside connection and keep going, I have to hold and use my back. And you say, no, bump the right leg. Bump yeah, quickly. If he's not feeling like he's going to that hand, the hand stays steady. You get really tough with your legs. Hands are steady. Better. Down the long side. No collapsing. Don't lose the hands. Nice and steady. Good job. Good. Try to find a few steps, a few strides of just enjoying the movement. Breathe. Say, can you just carry yourself a little bit? I'm going to try to stay really steady. Doesn't matter. Good. And we change the direction. Good job. You're okay. You're doing good.
It's a different feeling, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's going to be like this weird, like where you're like balancing on this cliff, and you know, it's going to be weird, and you're going to feel like it's kind of hard, but you're also going to say, you're going to start feeling like you'll feel this weird like feeling come over your body, like, oh, I feel a little bit more like I can manipulate him here. But the more that he can get you out of that spot, you know, he's going to go slower, and he's going to break because he's going to say, oh, she's managing me here a little bit. This is a little hard. Like I'm having to do more work and she's doing less. So I'm going to, you know, give her a little hard time. And not that he's doing it in a mean way. He's just been able to get away with it. So he's kind of like, oh, I'm going to test here and see. Yeah.
Can I get out of work?
Yeah.
Working the right way.
Yeah.
And just right as I can get them.
Exactly. And again, it's just trying to say, hey, it's not the focus of the front of his body. Although if you look at the video, you know, you have short enough reins. Their hair longer now, but it's fine because we're kind of going to focus on a little bit more your seat. And we've kind of, I don't want to say drop down a notch, but we're kind of like, we're just really focusing on this movement of your body, which I think is ultimately important. But he's not too long. But I need you to feel that he's not happening through your hands. But you cannot not have your hands either. So you can't have this horse in like a loose, loopy contact and then try to do everything that I'm asking you to do right now and make a connection, because then you're almost in these places where some of the other ladies, like I had just mentioned, are in this weird, like disconnected place, and it just feels uh, there's a bit of an end place to that kind of riding. And the end place is that there's is like right before like you're going to ever try to connect. So when you need to really do something in dressage and make the horse do more things, you need to help to connect them to put them up through the levels. But this is the basis. Everything is through your legs and your seat. When he gets stiff on one side, or he tries to brace, or he slows down, or he gets too slow behind, it's you. We have to make it quicker and better with your seat and your legs. Let's go trot. Try a spurt of more trot. A reaction. Reaction. Now less. So hold your belly in, but not walk, but just. Now try more. Careful not to lean too far back with your shoulders. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for canter. And when you're ready, and both legs. Pop. And just like be annoying with your aids, like again, repeat, 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 repeat. I don't care if it's ugly. Repeat, repeat. Hands soft, and down. Good, good. Elbows, yeah. More legs, more seat. Hands are just kind of gently holding him like side reins. Now he's got that weird, like you have his head looking to the outside and his thumb in. So keep him going. Good. And you are a little bit leaning off to the left there too. Remember, he has to look a little to the right this way. Good. Good. There. Yes. This is pretty good for him because he's doing a very teeny tiny head circling. Yeah, keep your outside hand close to his neck. And squeeze your right fist here, keeping him always a little bit right looking. And you sit over to the right. You sit to the right. You sit to the right. Don't fall off to the outside. Good. You'll see it in your video. Yes, keep going. You're a little off to the left today, so stay over to the inside today. Yep. And he's clinking it. He's kind of putting his haunch in a bit. He's, guarding himself like he always does. Good. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is the right hip back. The right hip back. Yes. There. Yeah, yes, yes. So think about that. How do you feel in your hips? Are you helping him to bring his haunch in?
Okay.
Are you? Or are you helping him to ride his haunch straight? You have to stay in your right side of your body and don't let your right hip go forward, which is what happens this way. There's the haunch coming in. That's not good. So make his shoulder coming in and put your right hip back there. His haunch is coming in. Do you feel it? We need more control through your right hip. Even in the canter. This is better. Good. Really, really focus on your right hip. No, you're falling off to the outside. Do you feel that? This is great for the camera. You'll see it yes. Stay over to your weight to the inside. Only in what's happening today. Don't raise your hands too low. Soft. Bring his shoulder slightly in, thinking, but very gentle. Don't fall off to the outside. No, you fell off to the outside. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, so stay over to the right. We want those haunches to stay straight. Yes? Stand up over and stand in your right leg. Stand down. Good. And try again, going down this long side, about standing in your right leg a little bit. Hands down. Your outside hand gets a little high over here in this corner. Stand on your right leg. Hop, 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 hop. Stand on your right leg, stand over 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 your right leg. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's trot. Good. This kind of trot, he's allowed to, this is where he's going to just be nice and help you now. Find your posting trot. All right, catch your breath. And make sure through all of this you're breathing. Maybe you're holding your breath.
As soon as I tried to get soft in my feet, I fell off to the left. That must be my comfort zone.
Yeah. So you can feel that, right?
Yeah, because as soon it felt great, but I was off to the left.
Yeah.
It felt great.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll see it in your video. You're up to the left. He brings his haunch in, and then
I know exactly what it looks like because I hate it.
Yeah. But he has the ability to straighten it, and you do too, so that's good. All right, let's do a little bit like this, but again, don't fall off to the left. Look at you. You've got these beautiful mirrors. Use them. Look at yourself. And massage that he doesn't look to the outside. Keep him looking to the inside, but also massage his shoulder. That his shoulder just stays, it's not a shoulder in, it's just that you can control it, that it's not feeling like, his shoulder feels like sometimes it gets glued. It gets like, it's almost like his shoulder point has a magnet and your wall has a magnet. He's a little like, with his shoulder. Do you know what I'm saying? Say no. Yes. Don't let him go with that shoulder. Just don't let him take over. Yes, but keep your right leg. Good. All right, let's start thinking about that bounce. And I want you to breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I want the rhythm to happen more. Now, with your hands, with this feel that you have, don't throw him away. But just for 3 or 4 strides, feel like you detach your hands from your body. So just slowly a little bit hands forward and see if you can still sit the trot with them forward. Like I'm talking about an inch, eh? And then feel that the elbows get heavy again. But the shoulders need to be more soft. And your arm muscles, all the arm muscles have to be soft. But there's a heavy thing in front of your elbows, holding your elbows back. And all the arm muscles are more soft. And bounce. And I want to hear you breathe. In through the nose. Now your right hip went forward. Could you feel that? So hold your strap with your inside hand. And your outside hand is just going to kind of have to be on its own. And breathe through your shoulder. Good. And it's okay. Go for trot again. Open your thighs. Open your thighs. Open your thighs. Open again. Open. Open and breathe. Open your knees again. Find a place and lift a few strides. Lift. Yes, let your thighs open. This is better in your hip. Good. And soften. Open your thighs. Lift more in your crotch. Don't lean back in your shoulders too far. Good. And now let the trot a little smaller, like a little bit of a resting place. Breathe. Now a little more trot. Hop. Now a little less. Resting place. Now a little more. Hop. Good. More lift. And your knees are too tight up in the knee rolls. Just do little jiggles with your thighs. Your lower legs are fine, but your knees have to, yeah. And you see when you do that, how he wants to go? Open your knees. Your shoulders need to stay heavy. Your elbows are heavy. More breathing. Lifting your pubic bone. Up, 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 up. Good. Good job. Change the direction. Very good.
Is it getting any better?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
It
much better.
doesn't feel like
It's much better. It's much better. It's like if you wrote down on a piece of paper how many times you really practice sitting trot, it's just it's laughable. It's not enough.
it's laughable. Like 5 times maybe?
Yeah. So you can't, if we practice this hard for 1 month, which we're going to do other things in a month, but what I'm saying is if we did this 25 lessons in 1 month and we just focused on this, it would still not be enough. So it's going to take time. And you need to I wish Savon would be sound enough for you too. Like you need bareback.
Somebody rode him last week. The one foreign girl rode him, and he actually looked pretty happy. She rode him bareback because I don't have the saddle that fits.
Right. I mean that's what I'm saying. If you could just get some bareback time, little jogging. I mean, you need to ride more.
Try to time.
I know it's the worst. I know it's the worst.
It is.
Open the thighs right away when you go into that trot. This is better. This is better. Yes. Go a little slower so you don't lose it. Now a little more. And you have your hand on your left strap, and that's great because I think that you can feel the bend in your left elbow. Mm-hmm. Now do the hold in your right strap and feel in both elbows holding, and feel the heaviness and the softness at the same time, and really bounce with him. That's how you're gonna have to be. Good. Keep going.
That used to be hard, but now it's like easy. Like this. Just doing this used to be super hard for me because I was like just hang on the strap, and now it's like super easy.
Exactly. This is how your hands are going to be soon. Yes, make a little less trot. That's got a little bit, and then a little more, and a little less. Don't get crooked. You're only working on the hip flexion, dribbling the ball right now. A little more, and a little less. Keep yourself softly in the saddle. And you hold yourself in the saddle if you need to feel it again. And then when everything feels good, you just kind of, like you don't let go of the strap, but you just try to say, a little bit on my own. And then hold yourself in the saddle again. And breathe. And practice opening the thighs. And you can tell, this is why your hands need to be in this place. This is where it's the best place to be in this alignment. That's why it's taught this way. That's why for all these decades, right, of dressage riding, they talk about it for a reason. Bounce more breathing. Right shoulder heavy. Right shoulder more heavy. Yes. Right ear to right shoulder. Bounce more. Lift, 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 lift. You stay behind. Good. Now straighten the head. Lift, 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 lift. Now lift less. Now lift more. And I want you to see, it's not about him. If he looks over, he does this or he does that. I don't care. I don't want you to lose your seat. And try to be softer in your upper body when everything is going good. Good. Try it again.
Okay. I feel my neck like tight.
That's the thing, because the tight, I've said this 100 times, the tight neck is making tight hips. Let's go trotting again. Lifting your crotch first. It's so much better. Good. Now walk. Lifting your upper body and pull your abdominal in like you're going to do a kegel. Good. Now open and lift. Lift, lift, more, more, more. Open the legs, lift, hut, 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 hut. Now let's soften the neck and then hold into the walk. The body, your pelvis, your lower abdominals into the walk. And go, legs away. Lift. Really practice your hips only. Yes. Now walk, hold, and a little shorter range. Nice. Nice what you're doing there. Good job. That's really through the seat. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one day you're going to do that like all the time.
Okay.
Walk, 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 walk your seat, walk your seat, walk your seat, walk your seat, walk, 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 walk. 3, 2, 1, and trot. Hop, hop. Hop, 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 hop. Light and fun with your hips. Up, up, up. More movement. Up, 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 up. Keep telling yourself up, up. Soften in your neck, like gentle. I don't have to see a big movement, but just soft. And move the hips more. Hop. Hop, 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 hop. When he does, that's when he gets behind you. Like, hop. Tuck him with the calves. Hop. And then now move with the movement. Shorten the reins. Don't let him back up. Hop, 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 hop. Legs, 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 legs. And then hop your seat. Hop, 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 hop. Tuck your inside leg. Hop. Tuck, tuck. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Tuck, 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 tuck. Yes. Yes. And walk. And trot. Hop. Is it getting better?
Uh-huh.
A lot of trot now. Your seat. And then tuck the calves if he doesn't listen. Hop. Hop. He has to get out in front of you with the hind legs. Hop. Now less. Do not pull. And walk. Hold your belly. Trot. Open your shoulders. This is right. This is correct. For trot. All right. Shorten the reins and go rising trot. And hands off the strap. And ride them into the contact a lot. Hop, 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 hop. Hopefully your hands are comfortable living there near the strap. You'll feel more heavy in the elbows. You'll feel like they want to stay there. More trot with the hind legs, not more running. Guys. Check your diagonal. Hind legs. Ah, this is good. This is good, eh? You feel it?
Uh-huh.
Keep going. Push, 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 push. Push your bum. Push, push, push. Good. Let's trot with this energy. So let's trot, push, push, push. Let's trot, let's trot, let's trot, push, push, push. On the diagonal. Let's trot, push, 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 push. Let's trot, let's trot, let's trot. Push, 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 push. Nice. Heavy elbow. Good. Let's trot, push, 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 push. Let's trot, push, push, push. Let's trot, push, 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 push. Let's trot, push, 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 push. Yes. Now more trot. Go. Now let's trot, push, 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 push. And now go. Let's trot, push them together, push them together. And go. Let's trot, let's trot, let's trot, push, 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 push. Let's trot, let's trot, let's trot, let's trot, in place, in place, in place. Come back in place, come back in place, push, 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 push. Bend him to the right, bend him to the right. Push, 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 push the hunch, push, 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 push. Let's trot, let's trot, let's trot. Come on, come on, keep him backing up. Good job. And then collect him and forward into the walk. Don't collapse. Walking, 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 walking. Walk, walk, hop, seat, seat. Legs away. Good boy. Good boy. Good. And walk. And then go ahead and stop the camera, and then you could start again. I just want to make sure you don't lose